I receive thousands of messages every day. Messages from people like you, who want something simple, doable, and real. People who are tired of complicated workouts, tired of impossible promises, tired of programs that demand hours and hours each day. What everyone wants is the same thing: to reduce belly fat, slim the waist, and feel better about their own body. Whether it's upper belly, lower belly, or that stubborn side fat that just won't go away. And let me tell you something very important right from the start: you are not alone in this. If you're struggling, if you've tried many times and given up, if you think it's not for you, that's more common than you think. And that's exactly why this method works. Because it was designed for real people, with real routines, with real bodies. All I ask from you is just a few minutes of your day. Not hours. Not expensive equipment. Not crowded gyms. Just a few minutes, done standing up, in the comfort of your home, at your own pace. And when you understand this, something changes in your mind. Because it finally feels possible. The best part is that these exercises can be done anytime, anywhere. In the morning, afternoon, or at night. In the living room, bedroom, or kitchen. It doesn't matter if you're starting now, if you've never exercised before, or if you've tried many times in the past. They are simple, straightforward, and effective. And let me make this very clear: your size doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you wear M, L, XL, XXL, or any other size. I've seen people with very different body types doing these exact same movements and getting real results. I'm not talking about theory. I'm talking about real practice. People who started off doubtful, thinking it wouldn't work, and after a few days began to feel something different in their body. And do you know one of the biggest advantages of this method? It's completely beginner-friendly. There's no heavy impact. No complicated moves. It doesn't require you to sit on the floor, which is often uncomfortable or even painful for people who are overweight or have knee, hip, or back problems. Here, everything is done standing up. And that changes everything. Because when you exercise standing up, you respect your body. You protect your joints. You don't strain your spine. And at the same time, you activate exactly the areas that need to be activated to reduce belly fat and slim your waist. What I want is for you to feel confident. For you to feel safe. For you to finish the workout tired, yes, but happy. With that good feeling of "I did it." Because when you feel that, you come back the next day. And that's when the results start to show. These exercises don't require any kind of equipment. Nothing. No weights, no resistance bands, no mats. Just your body and a little bit of space. You can do them with me, at your own pace. If you can go fast, great. If you need to go slowly, that's okay too. The most important thing is not speed, it's consistency. And now I want to create something very special with you. I don't want this to be just a video or just a text. I want this to become a community. People who support each other, who motivate each other, who walk together. That's why I'm asking you a simple but powerful question. How many days a week do you work out today? 3 days? 4 days? 5 days? Every day? Or maybe none yet? Be honest with yourself. And more important than the answer is the commitment you make from now on. Because it doesn't matter how you are today. What matters is what you decide to do from here. When people come together with the same goal, something different happens. Motivation grows. Discipline becomes easier. The journey stops being lonely. And that's what I want to build with you. A space where we support each other, encourage each other, and celebrate every small victory. And now, before we start the actual exercises, I need to teach you something very simple but extremely important: a quick, easy, and essential warm-up. Don't skip this part. Warming up the body prepares the muscles, improves circulation, and makes the exercises work much better. There are no excuses here. There's no "I'll do it later." No, "I'll start tomorrow." The moment is now. The body learns through movement. And every time you get up and decide to take care of yourself, you are doing something powerful for your health, your self-esteem, and your confidence. Take a deep breath. Feel your body. Be present. Because from this point on, you're not just exercising. You're creating a new habit. A habit that is simple, possible, and transformative. Before any movement, I want you to stand up, with your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Relax your shoulders, release the tension in your neck, and take a deep breath. Just this moment is already important, because many people spend the whole day tense, breathing shallow, with the body stiff. And when you relax your body, it responds better. These standing exercises are powerful precisely because they respect your body. When you move while standing, your belly activates naturally because it has to work to keep your balance. That means even simple movements are already doing something important for you. Another simple but extremely effective movement involves lifting your feet alternately, touching your toes to the floor and raising your knee as high as is comfortable for you. There is no correct height. There is your height. And that's freeing, because it takes away the pressure to be perfect. While you do this movement, something very interesting happens. The lower part of the belly starts to activate. That area many people say is impossible to work on. And it's not impossible. It was just being ignored or worked the wrong way. I want you to understand something very important here. There's no single miracle exercise. What works is a set of simple movements, done consistently, that create a cumulative effect. And that's what makes the difference over time. Maybe on the first day you'll think, that was easy. On the second day, you'll already feel a different kind of tiredness. On the third day, you start to notice your belly getting warmer during the workout. And after a few days, you feel something many people haven't felt in years, a connection with your own body. And that is powerful. Because when you feel your body, you take better care of it. You move more. You eat better. You respect yourself more. Another important point about these standing exercises is that they protect your knees and your back. Unlike many floor exercises that require excessive lower back strength or put pressure on your knees, here the movement is natural. You're just marching in place, lifting your legs, and moving consciously. If you have knee problems, make the movements shorter. If you have back pain, keep your upper body more upright. Small adjustments make all the difference. There isn't one right way. There's the right way for you. And now I want to ask you a very honest question. Are you really allowing yourself to try? Or are you doing this already thinking it won't work? Because the mind influences much more than we think. When you do something with belief, the body responds better. When you do it with doubt, everything feels heavier. And I want to emphasize something very important. If you feel like you can do more, great. If you want to repeat the sequence, go ahead. But never use that as an excuse to do nothing. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't have time to do everything today, so I won't do anything. That's a trap. 5 minutes is always better than 0. Another detail that makes a big difference is breathing. Every time you lift your leg or make an effort, breathe out. Exhale. This helps activate your belly even more. Don't hold your breath. And that even changes how your clothes fit. Your waist starts to look more defined. The body responds from the inside out. I know a lot of people reading this have already tried everything. Started excited and gave up. Bought expensive programs. Felt frustrated. And that's exactly why I insist so much on simplicity. Because simple is what works when it's done every day. Now that you've started feeling your body more active and your belly responding to the first movements, it's time to talk about an area that bothers a lot of people, the sides of the belly. That part right above the hips, often called love handles. It's an area that seems stubborn, hard to change, and that's why it causes so much frustration. When we talk about the sides of the belly, we're talking about muscles that help rotate and stabilize the torso. These muscles come into action every time you move sideways, every time you lift a leg while keeping your balance, every time you make a small controlled twist. And that's exactly what we're going to explore here. Stand up again, with your feet firmly on the ground. Feel your body weight evenly distributed on both sides. This simple adjustment already makes a difference. Many people have the habit of leaning more on one side, and that deactivates part of the belly muscles. When you stand in a mindful position, the body starts to work better. Now imagine you're going to lift one knee, but this time bring it slightly to the side, no rush, no swinging. You don't need to lift it high. What matters is control. As you do this, you'll feel the side of your belly on the opposite side working to keep your balance. That feeling of holding your body is exactly what we want. If you feel difficulty at the beginning, rest your fingertips on a wall or a chair just for safety. That doesn't reduce the effectiveness of the exercise. On the contrary, it helps you do it with more confidence. The fear of falling or making a mistake only gets in the way. Breathe naturally. Every time you lift your leg, breathe out. Breathing is a great ally for activating the abdominal muscles, especially in this side area. Don't underestimate this. Breathing well makes all the difference. You'll notice that even though it's a simple movement, the side of your belly starts to warm up. Some people feel a slight burning, others just a feeling of focused effort. All of that is normal. What's important is that you don't feel pain in your joints or back. Now let's change it up a bit. Place your hands behind your head, opening your elbows. This position helps open your chest and maintain good posture. From there, lift one knee at a time, always trying to twist your torso slightly toward the rising knee. It's not a big twist. It's small, controlled, and gentle. This simple movement activates the side of your belly even more because it combines leg lifting with torso rotation. And again, you don't need to do it fast. If you go slowly, feeling each part of the movement, the effect is even greater. If at any point you feel tired, slow down, but keep going. Sometimes the body just needs a small adjustment, not a full stop. Remember, we're not looking for extreme exhaustion. We're aiming for mindful activation. And this is where many people go wrong. They do a lot on one day and nothing on the others. That confuses the body and discourages the mind. The secret is in consistency. A little every day creates a powerful cumulative effect. While you do these side movements, take the time to observe your body. Notice if one side is easier than the other. That's very common. It doesn't mean there's a problem. It just means one side is a bit weaker or less active. Over time, this naturally balances out. Another important detail is your mindset. Many people exercise while thinking only about the end result, looking at their belly and feeling frustrated because it hasn't changed yet. I want you to shift that focus. Instead of thinking only about the result, think about the process. Think about what you're doing right now, the care you're giving yourself. These movements also help a lot with everyday posture. People who activate the sides of their belly walk with more stability, feel less strain in their lower back, and have greater body awareness. This even improves simple activities like getting up from a chair, climbing stairs, or standing for longer periods. And this is especially important if you spend a lot of time sitting. Sitting deactivates the belly and overloads other areas. These standing exercises help turn off that pattern and reactivate the body. Maybe you're still thinking, does this really work? That doubt is normal. But I invite you to do a simple test. Try these movements for a few days in a row, with attention and consistency. Notice how you feel. Notice your energy, your posture, the sensation in your belly. The body speaks. And when you start to listen, it becomes much easier to keep going. Now that you've learned how to activate your belly and sides with simple standing movements, it's time to understand something that completely changes the results. Intensifying doesn't mean suffering. Intensifying doesn't mean making things harder. Intensifying means doing things better. And that's one of the biggest keys to safely and permanently transforming your belly. What we're going to do here is exactly the opposite. We'll use small adjustments that increase belly and waist activation without adding impact to your joints, without overloading your back, and without making the exercise complicated. The first adjustment is the pace. Doing it slower, with control, activates the muscles much more than doing it fast and without awareness. When you slow down the movement, your body has to work harder to keep balance. That requires more from your core. So, if at any point you feel like intensifying, the first thing to do is slow down. Try lifting your leg a little more slowly. Hold it up for a second. Lower it with control. That small detail completely changes how the exercise feels. Suddenly, you really feel your belly working even without increasing the visible effort. The second adjustment is posture. Keeping your torso upright, your chest open, and your shoulders relaxed activates more muscles than you might think. When your posture is correct, your belly automatically kicks in to support your body. When your posture drops, other muscles take over, and your belly turns off. That's why, every time you begin the movements, do a quick body check-in. Make sure your shoulders aren't slouching forward. Make sure your neck is relaxed. Make sure your chest is open. This simple check can transform the exercise. Another very powerful adjustment is the intention behind the movement. Instead of just lifting your leg or twisting your torso, think about the muscle you want to activate. Think about gently pulling your belly in. Think about your waist gently tightening. This mind-body connection makes a huge difference. Many people do exercises on autopilot, thinking about other things. Here, the more present you are, the better the results will be. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Now let's talk about a very common mistake. Many people think that if they don't feel a strong burn, the exercise isn't working. That's not true. What you need to feel is activation, control, and connection. Strong pain, intense discomfort, or joint tension are signs that something needs to be adjusted. Speaking of breathing, this is one of the biggest secrets to intensifying results without extra effort. Every time you do the main movement, breathe out. Exhale. That activates your belly even more. Don't hold your breath. Holding your breath creates tension and reduces the effectiveness of the movement. Over time, you'll notice that your breathing naturally starts to sync with the movement. This makes the exercise feel more fluid and enjoyable. Another thing that makes a big difference is frequency. Doing these exercises once a day already brings benefits. But if at some point you want to do them twice a day, you can. In the morning and at night, for example. That speeds up belly activation without requiring more time per session. But pay attention, don't turn this into a heavy obligation. If one day you can only do it once, that's totally fine. The most important thing is to not stop completely. Now I want to talk about something that goes beyond the physical. These standing exercises also help change the relationship you have with your body. When you realize you can move, activate muscles, and maintain a routine, your confidence grows. And confidence changes everything. And that creates a positive cycle. You move, you feel better, and you want to keep moving. It's that simple. Now that you already know the movements, understand how to activate your belly and your sides, and have learned how to intensify without impact, it's time for the most important part, turning this into a real habit. Because knowing what to do isn't enough if it doesn't become part of your routine. And here's the good news, these exercises were designed to fit into your life, not make it harder. A lot of people think they need to feel excited to exercise. That's a mistake. You don't need motivation to start. You need a habit. Motivation comes later, when you start feeling better. In the beginning, it's normal to forget a day or two. That's not failure. That's human. The mistake isn't skipping a day. The mistake is using that as an excuse to stop altogether. If you miss a day, just come back the next. No guilt. No drama. No punishment. Now let's talk about what you can expect to feel in your body during the first few days, because that helps a lot with motivation. In the first 2 or 3 days, many people feel a different kind of activation in the belly. A warm sensation, a light local fatigue. That's a great sign. It means the muscles are waking up. Some people feel slight muscle soreness, like their body is saying, "Hey, it's been a while since I moved like this." That's normal, as long as it's not joint pain. If it's muscle soreness that's mild and temporary, it's part of the process. Around 1 week in, many people start to notice their posture improving. The belly feels more active, even at rest. You catch yourself standing taller, sitting better without even thinking about it. That's because your core muscles are more awake. Some people also say their clothes start to fit a little differently. Not because the fat disappeared overnight, but because the body is firmer, more organized. That already brings a huge sense of progress. And this is where I want to give you an important reminder: don't become obsessed with the scale. The scale doesn't always reflect what's happening in your body. Changes in posture, muscle activation, and water retention don't show up immediately in your weight. But they show up in how you feel and how you see yourself. Now let's talk about something that can sabotage a lot of people: unrealistic expectations. Some people work out for 3 days and already want a miracle. When they don't see big changes, they get discouraged. That's unfair to your own body. The body needs time to adapt. And it responds better when it's not under pressure. Think of this as a small but consistent daily investment. A little every day adds up to something big over time. That's the secret many people ignore. Another very important thing is not turning this moment into something heavy. Don't do it in anger. Don't do it as punishment. Do it as self-care. As a gift to yourself. When you shift this mindset, everything becomes lighter. These exercises also help a lot of people who spend long hours sitting. If that's your case, you'll notice that after a few days, getting up from a chair becomes easier, your body feels less stiff, and your lower back feels looser. It's all connected. Now I want to talk about something that can boost your results even more: weekly consistency. You don't have to do it every day if that's hard at first. 3 or 4 times a week already brings benefits. But if you can do it every day, even better. The key is not to go too long without doing it. Now, a very important question: are you willing to commit to yourself? Not to me. To you. To give yourself these few minutes a day? Because no one can do this for you. But you can. And you're capable. And before anything else, I want you to pause for a moment and recognize something important. If you made it this far, it's because you decided to take care of yourself. That alone is a big win. Many people don't even get to this point. They give up before they begin. But not you. You chose to try. And that makes all the difference. Now, let's talk about what really keeps results going over time. Because starting is important, but continuing is what creates real transformation. The biggest mistake people make when they find something that works is treating it like a temporary solution. They do it for a few days, maybe a few weeks, then stop, thinking the job is done. But the body doesn't work like that. These exercises aren't just to lose belly fat. They're for keeping your body active, your core awake, and your waist strong over time. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't brush only when you feel pain. You brush every day to prevent problems. Movement works the same way. When you make these exercises part of your routine, something powerful happens. Your body starts to understand that this stimulus is constant. It adapts. It reorganizes. It responds better. And the results stop being something that come and go, and start being something that stays. Another common mistake is comparing your progress to someone else's. That steals your motivation. Every body responds at a different pace. Some people notice visible changes quickly, others first feel internal changes like more energy, better posture, and more body control. All of that counts as progress. Avoid looking in the mirror every day searching for dramatic changes. That creates anxiety. Instead, notice how you feel over the weeks. Notice how your body moves. Notice how your relationship with exercise changes. Those signs are much more important. Now let's talk about what holds all of this together: simple consistency. You don't need to add more time. You don't need to make it complicated. 5 minutes is still enough. If you want to do it twice a day, great. If once works for you, perfect. The secret isn't doing more, it's not stopping. These standing exercises have another huge advantage: they're easy to come back to. If for some reason you go a few days without doing them, there's no feeling of starting over. You simply start again. Your body quickly recognizes the movement. That prevents frustration and giving up. Don't turn this into a heavy obligation. Turn it into a gentle commitment. Something you do because you know it's good for you, not because you feel guilty if you don't. These exercises can also be combined with other light activities like walking, stretching, or short active breaks throughout the day. But never think you need to make up for anything. Movement isn't punishment. It's care. Now I want to speak directly to you who may still have doubts. You who have tried before. You who started excited and then stopped. You who have felt frustrated with your body. I want you to understand something very important. There's no such thing as permanent failure. There's only temporary interruption. If you stop, you can come back. If you lose motivation, you can restart. The body doesn't hold grudges. It always responds when it receives the stimulus again. That's freeing. And maybe the greatest benefit of all this isn't just a firmer belly or a more defined waist. Maybe it's the relationship you begin to build with your body. A more respectful, more mindful, more present relationship. When you move your body every day, even just a little, you send a very clear message to yourself: I care about me. That message changes how you treat yourself in other areas of life too. If one day you look back and realize you're feeling lighter, more confident, and more comfortable in your own body, remember, it all started with a few minutes standing, done with consistency. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to keep doing a little every time. And if at any moment you feel doubt, fatigue, or the urge to give up, return to the basics. Go back to the simple movements. Go back to your breath. Go back to your intention. Because what works is found in the simple things. I believe in you. And more importantly, you can learn to believe in yourself too. Start today. Continue tomorrow. And go at your own pace. Your body will thank you. Your mind will thank you. And you'll see the results along the way.